Alex Staniforth, my young friend from Kelsall. You've been in on the show a few times, Alex, over the last couple of years. Started when you carried the Olympic torch. That was almost 2 years ago now, wasn't it? Over the old Dee Bridge of Hanbridge. That was your bit.
Flown by, yeah.
And since then, you've been up one or two mountains, but you've got the biggie to come. Everest.
The final hurdles here.
You can't get bigger than Everest, can you?
No.
You're going up the south side of Everest.
That's
Southeast Ridge, isn't it?
Southeast Ridge in Nepal.
Yeah. And if you get up there, you'll be the youngest Briton ever to do so.
On the south side, yeah.
On the south side,
At 18.
yeah. So, I mean, wow, you've been training for the last, couple of years, and we're just a couple of weeks away now from you flying out for what's going to be the end of this particular journey in your life. How are you feeling?
I don't know. It's mixed. I guess now I've got the funds. It's a massive relief on me for my training, everything. But I don't know. I mean, when it's over, I think I'm going to be a bit lost. I miss the days where I send emails all day. It's just been strange. But in the same time, it's so exciting, and I'm just so fortunate that I can actually, I'm actually two and a half weeks away from actually getting out there, hopefully achieving my dream, which is an amazing feeling. But I'm just trying to cram everything in these past 2 weeks.
This is what you've been aiming for, and last time we spoke, you'd come back and you'd gone up Barunsi and Mira Peak, which are still fairly high mountains, and that was all part of the training process, which you've been committed to beyond what most people would be prepared to commit to, in terms of your whole life's gone on hold, really, to get yourself in peak physical condition.
I would say so. I mean, the thing is, I've only got obviously one chance for this. I've got a lot of people behind me, a lot of sponsors, and I have to give my all. Fortunately, I'm actually in the best shape now I ever have been. In the past few months have been really tough, but, I've got the chance. I've just got to do the best I can, and that's why I'm kind of spurred on to actually push myself so hard. And I think now I've done all I can and maximise my chances. So I've just got to get out there now and just do my best. But I do feel pretty fit now.
You're flying out at the end of this month, aren't you? Is it 2 weeks on Saturday?
It's the day before Mother's Day. So
as if your poor mother hasn't been through enough.
It was any kind of Chester businesses who kind of sell wine, winery or florist, please do get in touch, because I'm a bit stuck with that one.
You're going to be away for 2 months, so talk us through exactly what's going to happen while you're over there in Nepal.
Oh man, it's going to be a great trip. I mean, you
don't just get there and then climb up the mountain and come down and go home, do you?
No. It's a big trip. I mean, I'm on one of the best, probably the best team, climbing with Tim Mosedale, and we share base camp with Rob Casserly. He's a GP with a specialist in high altitude medicine, 8-time summiter, and Henry Todd, who he was the guy for Bear Grylls back in 1998. So he also supplies 90% of the oxygen on the mountain. I'm climbing with 5 other clients and my friend Ellis, so it's going to be great there. But we get there and we basically have a 3-week trek into base camp, which gives us the best kind of a chance. So kind of you have to prep for the altitude. Then to base camp probably towards 20th of April, roughly. From there, we obviously rest. We go up and down the mountain in rotations to Camp 1, Camp 2, back down again, rest, etc. Just so you get higher and higher. Then eventually, when it allows and the conditions, we go from Camp 4, 7,900 metres, sleep there in oxygen, go for the top in a 16-hour day, back down to base camp and back down to the Starbucks in Luckala.
So that's the thought that will keep you going, is it?
A lot of things.
It sounds to me like you're going to be on the mountain itself for a considerable amount of time.
No, actually, we don't spend a lot of time on Everest itself. A lot of times at base camp. But yeah, we do spend a lot of time at base camp, and a lot of people find that hard in terms of in terms of kind of staying positive for that length of time.
How long will it take you then to get from base camp up the ridge?
Well, I mean, as I said, on the summit push is normally about a week. Could you go from base camp to Camp 2, then Camp 3 to Camp 4, then you'd spend a couple of days coming back down. So
that's fairly rapid progress, isn't it?
Yeah, because once you go above Camp 3, your body is basically shutting down. Going above 8,000 metres is called the death zone, because quite literally that, your body is basically dying slowly. So you can't, if you spend too much time up there, then you're basically going to get worse and worse.
You've had it. So 8,000 metres is 24,000 feet roughly, isn't it? And I think Everest is 29,000 feet?
Yeah.
So in metres, what's that,
8,850.
Right, so nearly 9,000 metres. So you're spending quite a while in the death zone, and
no,
you're going...
only a day.
That's long enough to spend in a death zone.
It's a long
Trust
time.
me. It's about a day longer than I'd want to spend there. You mentioned Bear Grylls.
Yes.
I know he's your absolute hero, isn't he?
He is,
and
yeah.
you got to meet him yesterday.
I did. I was at the Craghoppers warehouse opening in Ellesmere Port. Huge place, and yes, I met Bear, and I probably spoke to him more than anybody, which is awesome.
Did you have a whole list of things you wanted to ask him?
Oh yeah, I mean, back in probably the end of 2012, I mean, his book, Mud, Sweat and Tears, I mean, probably saved the trip for me because, at the time I was injured. I'd been out for training for about a year and a half, and I didn't know if I'd ever actually train again. And I was aiming for Everest, and I thought, is this really happening? Is this actually going to happen? And Bear's book, he broke his back and then climbed Everest 18 months later. So for me, that inspired me completely. Bear's he's awesome. He's just exactly how he is in real life, as you expect. He's nuts. And he's quite small, actually. He's not big and stocky as you expect. And yeah, so obviously meeting him, he just kind of told me bits of advice, not to have an ego, to kind of just do my best and respect the mountain, really. So it's awesome.
He's the chief scout as well at the moment, isn't he?
Bear Grylls? He is.
So he was in Ellesmere Port, did you say, yesterday? Where you met him?
Yeah.
And had he heard of you?
No, sadly not.
Had he not?
Not yet. No.
Well, he has done now.
He has now.
And I'm sure you gave him your website address.
He's got a band and a business card, so.
Excellent, and the Just Giving details as well, because of course you're raising money for two charities. We might as well mention those now.
Yeah, sure. Well, I said, I mean, I've raised nearly 2,500 already from charities. My target is exactly £1 for every foot of Everest, so 29,035 for Click Sergeant and React. So it's also it's two important causes, and yeah, I mean, I've got my fundraising page, virginmoneygiving.com/climb4change. So if anybody can help me with that, that'd be great. Because the thing is, it's great that I can climb and help, and help at the same time. So
okay, cool. Well, we'll come back and we'll speak some more in a moment.
Cool.
Alex Staniforth is my 18-year-old from Kelsall, going up the southeast ridge of Everest next month, leaving it at the end of this month for Nepal. Yeah. And we've talked a bit about your training schedule and the fact that you've had to sacrifice, pretty much everything that most 18-year-olds do, going out, girlfriends and all that sort of stuff. It's all had to go on the back burner, hasn't it? Because this is your one chance to go up Everest. You've got yourself in peak physical condition, but it sounds like it's as much about mental discipline as it is about physical discipline.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what I've actually probably where I've kind of improved most since I got back from Bruntsea. I mean, for example, now, I mean, what I've kind of tried to do is kind of, is to kind of train myself not to think how far I've got left, because that's why Fines failed. He tried Everest twice and only failed both times. Then he summited the third time. Because of that, I mean, it's just, if you've got 14 hours walking left, it's not good for the mental kind of strength, so, but I've had emails of free Everest summiters now who've all told me that they think I have the maturity and the drive to do this. I mean, one guy, James Ketchell, he cycled around the world recently and he climbed Everest a couple of years ago. He said, because I've been able to do what I've done now and raise sort of over £30,000, just in the cost of the trip, shows I have the drive to actually, to actually get there on the top. So hopefully, he's true.
I know you've had various sponsors involved with you to help cover the cost, and you've not long since got the second major sponsor on board.
Fortunately, it's all paid for now, so all I've got to do now is
climb that thing.
Is eat cake, jump on the plane, and climb the thing. I mean, fortunately, about 2 weeks ago, I had my second major sponsor, which is a joint venture between Pinktree and UK Loans, which is part of the quintessential finance group in Macclesfield. So. It's all in the area. They came on board about 2 weeks ago, so they basically, saved the day, alongside my other major sponsors, Tex Local, who are in Pulford in Chester. So, and
they're listening in this morning. I've seen a tweet from them.
Have they?
Yes, yes.
Well, I hope they're all good this morning, and I'll see them tomorrow. So I've got these, I've got all these brands behind me, which is great. So a big, so if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be happening. So I'm very, very fortunate for that. So yeah, thank you to all of them, and hi this morning if they are, here on, if they are, actually there now. on air.
As well as all the training, all the physical training, I understand you've been going around giving talks at local schools as well.
Yeah, I mean, not many, because my time is just completely, really short. But yeah, I mean, I'm talking at the Chester Business Club as well next week. Past speakers include Ranulph Fiennes, Lord Coe, Duke of Westminster, so, you know, no pressure there. But
but
thing
is,
next
to follow there.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, you know, is my stomach can make things really, really tough sometimes, and for me, it's just about, what I've always done is just, get your fears and hit them head on, and it's always worked for me. It's just great, that I am head out there. So,
well, you've never let that stand in your way. You've been on this show on many occasions, and I know you've been on the local news. I remember on Olympic Torch Night, you were interviewed by, I think it was the BBC, their local news.
Yeah,
was this Monday you were on Granada Reports?
ITV Granada.
I missed it.
You missed it. Well, it'll, I mean, that was on to kind of 500,000 people, me kind of putting on my expedition Banana Man suit in front of 500,000 people. But yeah, no, that was great, and I've had all sorts of magazines and press involved, which is great, and yeah, I mean, I've got an audience now, which is fantastic.
Yeah, you
I've
got your
sponsors.
website.
Got my site. I've got my sponsors, which is great, and yeah, I mean, it's just an amazing feeling, really, that I've kind of come over all the obstacles, because I basically, I've climbed Everest lots of times already in terms of getting to where I am now, and I'm
the
confident.
other things you've had to conquer.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm just kind of confident. I really do feel this will be the year. I just feel like everything's come right at the, now. I mean, people say that trying to raise all the money is the hardest thing. So again, thanks to my sponsors for, actually for that, and plus in the area. I mean, in Chester alone. I mean, of course, as well as I've also got sponsors from Great Bear Distribution in Tattenhall, so they're not far away. Pescado, who are literally just up the road. In fact, I walked past them this morning.
Yes, because he walked into the studios from town, didn't you?
Of course I did, yeah.
Why catch a bus when you can walk?
Because I'm aching like a board as well. But, yeah, so I've got a great kind of thing, in the area as well. So it's brilliant.
Cool.
It really is brilliant.
Okay. We've already mentioned how people can donate. We'll do that again just before we finish. But you're going to shimmy up this mountain and then shimmy down again, and then you're going to come back here in June, I think it'll be, to tell us how it went.
Sure.
What's next? What are you going to do next?
Oh, God.
I mean, you've been working on this for years now.
I'll be a very happy guy at the summit, and to be honest, I'm confident now that everything's coming into place and that, that I can get on the top. And calling home off my satellite phone, which was given to me by Text Local, would be brilliant. That'll be a kind of a proud moment for me.
And this will be a massive buzz when you've done it and you come back. You're gonna enjoy the moment for a while, but after that, you're going to want to do something else, aren't you?
Well, a lot of people get the expedition blues and they come back and they're a bit lost, and I think that'll definitely hit me again. I think it's because because all my life is about Everest, because it's got to be. You have to give 100% all the time, otherwise it's not going to happen. I mean, if you say you can't do something, you're probably right. Next, I don't know. I mean, I really like the idea of just coffee, cake, and just sitting down doing nothing for a while, because
night out in Rosie's or something.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, I don't drink, but just to chill for a while. I mean, I've pushed myself to the limit. I mean, I've got kind of I've had kind of bits now, in my training where it literally pushes me in tears. It's that painful. But just to be able to relax for a while would be great.
Well, you'll have earned the summer off, that's for sure.
I will. I mean, then obviously, I've got to raise a lot of money from the causes. I want to kind of, inspire kids. So that's why, I'll start my talk, start my book as well, which I'll hopefully be starting when I get back. Just basically, get the story out and show kids really that, they can achieve anything they put their minds to. Because I'm just a normal kid. I mean, I've got great help, I've got great help off mum, but, I've had to raise those myself, and it just shows that what young people can do, no matter what the obstacles are on the way, so. Just
give us that, Just Giving address again for people that want to donate a few pounds towards the charities you're doing this for.
All helps. virginmoneygiving.com/climb4change.
And we'll put that on our Facebook page.
And Gavin said that if you do actually donate, he will buy you a coffee.
There you go, you see. Or maybe a pint.
And me when I get back.
Well,
deal?
You'll have deserved one.
Okay.
You'll have definitely deserved one.
Good deal, then we got that one.
Alex, it's great to see you.
And you.
I wish you all the very best with this huge adventure.
Thank you.
That you've undertaken, and I look forward to speaking to you on this show in June when you get back.
Yeah, and I've got my blog as well, alexstaniforth.com. There's a link on there. I'm on Twitter again. Yeah, I mean, just obviously want to say a big thanks to all the people who've helped me get there. In 2 weeks I'll be heading off. Thank you to Dee for having me on many times, to my sponsors, Tex Local, Pinktree and UK Loans. I've got so many, I can't put them all in the interview. Well, to my mum and my friends, Chris Ray for helping me get here as well, I can mention.
Especially to your mum.
So
he meant to mention your first mum, he did, honest.
I did, honestly. Just honestly, thank you so much, because, people have helped me to achieve something different. I mean, I just see myself as a climber, but people have been inspired by it, which is brilliant, and the feedback. So,
well, Alex, you are inspirational. Thank you for coming in. Look forward to seeing you in June. The very best of luck.
Thank you.
My guest this morning is Alex Staniforth, off to Everest at the end of the month.